Comrades, good afternoon. We held a similar meeting on October 25th. At that time, the Chief of the General Staff, the head of the main operational department, and the commanders of two groups of forces, the Western Group of Forces and the Central Group of Forces, were present. At that time, both the commanders and the Chief of the General Staff reported on the situation in Krasnoarmeysk and Kupiansk, where you managed to block major enemy units. Today, the Chief of the General Staff and the head of the main operational department are also participating in our meeting, as well as the operational command staff of the Western Group of Forces, the commander of the Southern Group of Forces, Sergei Medvedev, and the former commander of the Southern Group of Forces, who has been appointed to a new position as the Deputy Defense Minister of the Russian Federation. I am confident that in his new position, he will use all his knowledge and experience as a combat commander. This is in demand today. I would like to hear from the Chief of the General Staff on the situation in the responsibility zone of the Central Group of Forces. I did not invite the commander today, as he should be resolving the tasks at hand. We know what is happening, but I would ask you to report on the situation at the current moment. Then I would like to hear from the new commander of the Southern Group of Forces. This is not new work for you, considering you were the Chief of Staff of this same group of forces. In this sense, we have complete and total continuity. Who besides you knows the situation in this direction better? As they say, the cards are in your hands, both literally and figuratively. I would ask you to focus your attention on the situation in Konstantinovka in your report. As far as I know, fighting is already taking place within this town. Please also focus your attention on the Kramatorsk-Druzhkovka direction in general, and of course around Seversk. Then I would ask the commander of the Western Group of Forces to take the floor and report on the situation in Kupiansk, as well as on the left bank of the Oskol River. I mean the situation in the settlement of Kupiansk-Uzlovoy and the surrounding area, where, as far as I know, you have also managed to block a significant enemy grouping. Quite recently, there were 18 battalions, now about 15. How do you plan to proceed in this direction and in the zone of your responsibility? On the left bank of the Oskol River, we have the 6th Army and the 1st Tank Army engaged. Please elaborate. Valery Vasilievich, I would also ask you to report on whether it is possible to create the conditions, as I requested, for the Ukrainian armed forces personnel to have the opportunity to lay down their arms and surrender, given the situation they are in. Valery Gerasimov, Comrade Commander-in-Chief, these conditions have been created. Considering the desperate situation, many Ukrainian servicemen are deciding to surrender, but most of them, under the threat of being shot or eliminated by their own troops using drones, cannot fulfill this task. Meanwhile, the political leadership of Ukraine gives no instructions to its troops in this regard. Vladimir Putin. Understood. Frankly, We already understand what the political leadership of Ukraine is. It is no longer political leadership. Since March last year, it is a group of individuals. It is a criminal group, an organized criminal community, which since March last year has usurped power and, under the pretext of the need to continue the war with Russia, retains this power in Ukraine for personal enrichment. This has now become a well-known fact from the results of an anti-corruption investigation in Ukraine itself. I think it is clear to everyone that these people, sitting on golden toilets, are unlikely to care about the fate of their country and about the fate of ordinary people in Ukraine, the officer corps, let alone common soldiers. They have no time for this. But we have our own tasks and goals. The main one is the unconditional achievement of the objectives of the special military operation and the accomplishment of the tasks set before us by our motherland and the people of Russia. The people of Russia are counting on us, counting on you, and expecting the result the country needs. Let's get to work. Valery Vasilyevich, please take the floor.